Hello, are we streaming? We gotta check to see if the audio's coming up here, folks. Let me check here. How you doing this morning? You're making some noise. So, here it is, April Fool, and they want to talk about Artemis, right? And the nonsense, huh? And the nonsense, they want to tell you what they're doing. So let's just check if we're live. So, yeah, we're live. We kicking here this morning. So we're gonna start the morning now with the April Fool's Blues. Hear this, the April Fool's NASA. The word means to deceive. You got this crew of people who aren't gonna leave our own atmosphere because the moon's inside our own atmosphere, folks. So we're just gonna start the day and then we're gonna talk about some trees. So let's listen to the April Fool's song that I created back. How long ago did I create this? This was created in let's see, 2019. Okay, 5 years ago, I wrote this here, April Fool's Blues, about the coronavirus fools. You ready here? What's up, Bruce? Good to see you, brother. How's the audio? Here, we're gonna kick this. Ready? Let's do it. April Fool's Blues.
Hello world, hello. Hello YouTubers. Hello you Americans. We're gonna make some noise here. You ready? Let's sing a little melody we just made up now 5 minutes ago. Here we go, folks. Woo! Come on now. Woo-ha! April Fools, slaves from those who rule. Wake up, you zombie apocalypse fools. It's time to change the rules. Time to change the rules. It's time. So let's reveal these sun blocking chemtrail coronavirus fools.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Come on now. Let's reveal them.
Reveal them.
The sun rocket.
Yeah.
Chemtrail coronavirus fools. Yeah. Who said it's okay to block the sun?
Yeah.
What kind of fool said that?
Yeah, what kind of fool said
Who's
that?
that fool?
Huh? Some kind of nut job, you know?
We know who them fools are, don't
Yeah,
we?
we know.
Yeah, we know. Can't keep a virus off the computer, but he's got a patent.
Oh, man. What's going on
How
with
dare
y'all, man?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Get Greta.
How dare you?
Come on now.
You fools. You coronavirus sunblocking fools. Woo! Woo! Time to change the rules. You zombie apocalypse fools. It's time to change the rules. Come on now. Let's reveal Sun blocking chemtrail coronavirus fools. Come on now. It's up to you and you and you
And you.
and you
And you.
and you. Come on now. It's up to you and you. Come on now. It's what we gotta do. Reveal the chemtrail coronavirus fools. That's what we need to do. Who said it's okay to block the sun? Who said that?
Who said that?
Let's get that bomb. Come on now. Let's get them to run. That's right. Get your Forrest Gump boat.
Get your Forrest Gump going.
Time to start this show. Time to start the show. Come on now. Let's go. Yeah. Waking up yet? Come on now, wake up. Fools.
Wake up.
Fools. To the slaves. To the slaves. From those who rule. From those who rule. Come on now.
Come on now.
April fools. From the sun, rock, and coronavirus trail. Yeah. Please like, share, and subscribe. Come on now. Time to change the rules. Subscribe.
That was my dog Ziggy
Peace.
at the end of that video. That was too cool. Huh? It's April Fools, folks, so we're gonna make some noise here. And we're gonna bump over here. And we're gonna talk about Meltology. What's up, you red brick souls out there? Little food for thought, and I'm gonna make a little noise this morning, and perhaps we can watch a little video together for educational purposes about trees to further enlighten us in regard to many things that we're not taught about um, this realm that we live on. But I'm going to give you a quick little meltologist perspective on trees, if you will. Okay? From a meltologist lens, trees are not just natural growth, they are witnesses and survivors of a past event. Trees as aftermath markers, um, like it in the, if you will, the transcripts of the movie that we're gonna watch. Um, Themes point towards unusual tree growth patterns and formations. That's what a meltologist would say, and I want you to think it through yourself. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to say some words and let you think things through yourself. Um, Trees didn't just grow randomly, they grew where something used to be. Okay? And you start looking around at trees themselves, and you see a forest often sit on top of flattened, buried, or melted structures. Root systems spread across surfaces like the gripping old foundations. Uniform spacing. That ain't chaos. That's replacement over something organized. So, the melt view. Trees are reclaiming a melted civilization layer, if you will. Burn patterns without fire narratives. Many discussions about trees highlight hollow cores, charred looking interiors, dead centers but living outer shells. A meltologist reads that different, not a forest fire, but a heat event from above or below. And we always say below. It came from the ground up, but it worked in conjunction, as above, so below. See, and I want you to see that uh, as human beings and even as meltologists, that there's something more that we're not wrapping our minds around, like how these trees grow, for example. Okay? And that video that we're going to watch together, I would like to watch it and get some comments from anybody, especially meltologists, but anyone is welcome to comment, and I look forward to having comments about that. Okay? So, trees survive from the outside in suggest flash heat, not long burning fires. Massive areas show similar damage, not localized natural fire behavior. Okay? Um, it was some type of global or regional thermal event, not random wildfires. And I hate to use the word globe, but I did, so forgive me to all those. Don't ride me about that. So, like the reset growth theory, okay? Trees often appear same age clusters, sudden regrowth in large areas, missing older generations. That's a red flag in meltology. Where are the ancient giants? Why the reset? Forests look like they are started at once, like after a wipe. You know what I mean? Lack of extremely old trees in many regions suggests interruption. So trees represent a post-melt reboot of the biosphere. Okay, so trees growing on this impossible terrain. You'll see trees growing on rock faces, on top of mountains that look melted, in places with no clear soil or origin. Meltologist angle would say this, that the mountain ain't natural, it's a melted structure, and trees are growing on the remains. Roots adapt to whatever surface exists, even if it's once liquid stone. Nature doesn't question, it reclaims. And trees are like the green skin covering of a melted past. And you'll see it everywhere, folks. Trees as a living camouflage, hiding us. This is where it gets deep. Trees may be part of what hides the truth. Dense forests cover the terrain that's hard to analyze. They break up visual patterns of what might be geometric ruins. Over time, they make everything look natural. See? Trees unintentionally act as camouflage over the old world that's been melted. So, from this perspective, my lens, my eye about trees ain't just life. They are recovery, evidence, distraction, clues. The for the forest ain't just growing, it's covering something, folks. So let's take a look a little bit closer, and I believe by the video that we're going to share will enlighten many of us to see things differently and hopefully move more people over to Meltology. So like, share, and subscribe and get involved with Meltology. So let's watch this link together. Um, so turn off those TVs and turn on uh, to Meltology. So let's turn these TVs off and turn on some Meltology. and let's get watching this little video I'd like to share with you. So for educational purposes, we're gonna uh, play this video. Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. Let's make some noise. What's going on here? All right. Sorry about the little delay there, folks. The technical glitch was in my head. OI, organic intelligence screwed up. So here we go. We're gonna make some noise this morning. Um, Please, at the end of the stream today, if you do hang out, leave a message, or because the chat's open, that don't show up in the um, comment section. So I don't get many comments. So we gotta leave some comments after the live ends, if you will. So here we go. We're gonna listen to this dude, learn a little bit about trees, and it'll enlighten you. When I seen this, it really made me think, and it helped me to further understand Meltology, and that's my hope. Here we go. I'll leave a link also in the description box of where I seen this video. Here we go.
You think you know where trees come from. Of course you do. You've seen it 1,000 times. You push a seed into dirt, add water, wait, and eventually something green breaks through the surface and starts reaching upward. Trees come from the ground. Everyone knows this. It's not even a question worth asking. Except it is. Because here's what nobody ever stops to think about. A mature oak tree weighs around 10,000 pounds. Some trees weigh significantly more. That's thousands of pounds of wood, bark, roots, and branches that didn't exist a century ago. And now it does. So here's the question. Where did all that mass come from? Not vaguely, not poetically, physically. Where did those 10,000 pounds of solid matter come from? The obvious answer is the soil. Roots go deep, the tree pulls stuff up, and that stuff becomes tree. That feels right. That feels obvious. So let's test it. There's a famous experiment done by a Flemish scientist named Jan Baptist van Helmont in the 1600s.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea.
He took a willow tree weighing 5 pounds and planted it in 200 pounds of dried soil. He watered it for 5 years and let it grow. At the end, the tree weighed 169 pounds. It had gained 164 pounds of new mass. Then he dried the soil again and weighed it. The soil had lost less than 2 ounces. 2 ounces. The tree gained 164 pounds and the soil barely changed. So where did the other 163 pounds and 14 ounces come from? Not the soil. That's gone. That's the comfortable answer, and the numbers just killed it. This is the moment most people shrug and move on. They figure there's some technical explanation they don't understand, something about nutrients or chemistry, and they file it away and forget it. But stop. Don't move on. Because what just happened is extraordinary. You watched 164 pounds of solid physical matter appear out of essentially nothing, and you have no idea where it came from. That's not a small gap in your knowledge. That's a gaping hole in your understanding of how the physical world works. And the answer, when you actually see it, is going to break something in how you think about trees, about air, about matter itself. Let me show you. Okay, so the soil doesn't account for it. But water does, right? The tree drinks water constantly, gallons and gallons of it. A large oak pulls up roughly 100 gallons of water on a hot day. Over a century, that's an enormous amount of water moving through the system. So the mass must come from water. That's the next obvious answer. And it feels even more satisfying than soil because you can actually picture it. Roots drink, water travels up, tree grows. Clean, simple, logical. Except it doesn't work either. Here's why. Water is H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. When a tree processes water, it breaks it apart and uses the hydrogen. The oxygen gets released back into the air, which is actually where all the oxygen you're breathing right now comes from. But hydrogen is the lightest element that exists. You need an enormous amount of it to account for any significant mass. And beyond that, wood isn't made of hydrogen. Wood is made of carbon. Carbon is the backbone of every organic molecule, every cell wall, every fiber of every tree that has ever grown. Carbon is heavy, carbon is dense, and carbon makes up roughly 50% of the dry weight of any tree. So here's the problem. The soil doesn't have enough of it. The water doesn't either. A tree's roots absorb minerals from the soil, things like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and those matter for biological function. But all of those minerals together account for maybe 1 to 2% of the tree's total dry mass. 1 to 2%. The vast majority of what a tree is made of cannot be explained by anything coming out of the ground. The math simply doesn't work, and it doesn't matter how many times you picture roots drinking water, the numbers refuse to cooperate. So you're left with a problem that should feel genuinely uncomfortable. You have a 10,000-pound object sitting in front of you. You know it grew from a 5-ounce seed, and you cannot account for the mass. Not from soil, not from water, not from anything you can see going into the ground. The answer is somewhere else entirely. Somewhere most people never think to look. And when you find out where, it's going to make you look at every tree you've ever seen in a completely different way. The mass comes from air. That's it. That's the answer. Not soil, not water, not minerals, not anything you can hold in your hand or see going into the ground. Almost the entire physical mass of a tree, the trunk, the bark, the roots, the branches, all of it comes from an invisible gas floating in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide, CO2, the stuff you exhale, the stuff that makes up 0.04% of the air around you right now. That is what trees are made of. A 10,000-pound oak is, in the most literal physical sense, solidified air. When Van Helmont ran his experiment and couldn't find where the mass went, the answer was floating right in front of his face the entire time. He just couldn't see it because it was invisible.
Hi, I'm JT and I made Result Hunter, the search engine for conservatives. Let me just tell you what it does. First of all, big tech right now is...
Shut up.
Here's what's actually happening. Trees pull carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere through tiny pores in their leaves called stomata. The CO2 flows in. The tree breaks it apart. It strips the carbon out of that molecule and uses it as raw building material, chaining carbon atoms together into long, complex molecules. And those molecules become everything: glucose, cellulose, lignin, the rigid fibers of wood itself. The oxygen that's left over after the carbon gets stripped out gets released back into the air, which again is where your oxygen comes from. The tree is essentially running a disassembly line on thin air, pulling invisible molecules apart, keeping the carbon and throwing the oxygen back out. And that carbon becomes wood. Solid, dense, physical wood that you can touch and cut and burn. That is not a metaphor. That is the actual molecular mechanism. For a second, just stop and sit with what that means. Every plank of wood in every house ever built started as a gas. Every wooden table, every ship, every forest, every piece of paper you've ever touched was once invisible CO2 drifting through the atmosphere. Trees are machines that reach into the air and pull matter out of it and stack it into solid form, using nothing but sunlight as the energy source. Van Helmont was right to be confused. He just didn't think to weigh the air. And honestly, why would he? The idea that something solid comes from something invisible violates every intuition you have about how matter works. But that's exactly what's happening. Every tree you've ever seen is crystallized atmosphere. Let that land. Then let me show you how. You learned the word photosynthesis in school. You probably remember something about sunlight and chlorophyll and oxygen. You passed the test and moved on. But you were never shown what's actually happening. And what's actually happening is one of the most extraordinary physical processes in the known universe. Let's go through it properly. Sunlight hits a leaf. Now that sunlight is not just warmth or brightness. It is electromagnetic radiation, oscillating electromagnetic fields, traveling at 300 million meters per second, the same fundamental force that holds your atoms together, the same force behind magnets, electricity, and chemistry. When those electromagnetic waves hit a chlorophyll molecule inside a leaf's cell, something remarkable happens. The energy from the light gets absorbed by an electron in the chlorophyll molecule, kicking that electron into a higher energy state. That energized electron then gets passed along a chain of molecules called the electron transport chain. And as it moves, it powers the construction of ATP, which is the energy currency cells use to do work. That's the light reaction. Energy captured from electromagnetic radiation and stored in chemical form. Now the plant uses that stored energy to do something almost unbelievable. It takes CO2, a molecule that is completely stable and has no interest in being broken apart, and it forces it open. It strips the carbon out and uses that carbon to build glucose, a simple sugar with the formula C6H12O6, 6 carbon atoms chained together with hydrogen and oxygen attached. That glucose is the first solid thing in this whole process. The first moment where invisible atmospheric gas becomes an actual physical molecule the tree can use. Then the tree takes that glucose and does something even more impressive. It chains thousands of glucose molecules together into long repeating strands called cellulose, which is the primary structural material in plant cell walls, and into lignin, which fills the spaces between cells and gives wood its hardness and rigidity. Cellulose and lignin are what wood actually is, and the chemical bonds holding all of those molecules together, the bonds between every carbon atom in every strand of cellulose, in every tree, in every forest on Earth, those bonds are electromagnetic. The same force, always the same force. Sunlight, electromagnetic radiation, hits a leaf. The energy gets captured and used to forge electromagnetic chemical bonds between carbon atoms pulled from the air. Those bonds build glucose. Glucose builds cellulose. Cellulose builds wood. Electromagnetic energy becomes solid matter. That's not a simplified version. That's what's happening. Now take that and follow it one step further, because it doesn't stop at trees. You eat food. That food is mostly plants, or animals that ate plants, or animals that ate animals that ate plants. Every calorie you've ever consumed traces back to something that grew by pulling carbon out of the air. Which means,
work today is broken. Every day, people juggle so many different tools just to get work.
the carbon in your muscles, your bones, your brain, the carbon in every cell in your body right now, that carbon was atmospheric CO2 not that long ago. You are not made of earth. You are not made of water. You are made of rearranged air, stitched together by electromagnetic bonds and powered by ancient sunlight. Every carbon atom in your body has a history. It floated in the atmosphere as CO2. A plant pulled it in, stripped it out, and built it into glucose. Something ate that plant. Something else ate that. Eventually, the carbon ended up in your food, then in your body, forming the molecules that make you, physically, you. And before it was in the atmosphere, that carbon was in some other organism, which died and decomposed, releasing it back as CO2 to float free until the next plant grabbed it. Carbon has been cycling through living things and the atmosphere for billions of years. You are a temporary arrangement of atoms that have been part of countless other things before you and will be part of countless other things after. That's not philosophy. That's chemistry. Feynman used to talk about how a flower doesn't lose its beauty when you understand its biology. It gains something. Knowing what's actually happening doesn't flatten the experience of looking at a tree. It deepens it. Because now when you look at an oak, you're not seeing dirt that somehow stood up and grew bark. You're seeing hundreds of years of sunlight made solid. You're seeing electromagnetic energy captured from a star 93 million miles away, used to forge chemical bonds between carbon atoms pulled from thin air, stacked atom by atom into something you can climb and carve and sit under. The tree isn't drawing from the earth. The tree is drawing from the sky, from the sun, from the air itself. And you, standing next to it, looking up at it, you are the same process. Different arrangement, same mechanism. Sunlight captured, carbon bonded, matter built. You and the tree are running the same fundamental trick, just in different directions. If you want to keep seeing the world for what it actually is, not what it looks like, subscribe. That's what this channel is for. New video soon.
All right. All right, folks, that was pretty interesting. In regard to, I agreed with everything basically this gentleman said in this video, but then 93 million miles away with the sun crap. That's baloney. Furthermore, I want to illustrate unto the world and to those coronavirus fools, those people who spray white lines, talk about global warming, and who want to block the sun are against life and against us. Us, we are energy, we are power. We need to take our power back away from those monsters. Look today, April Fools. They want to tell you that they're going to go to outer space, to the moon. This nonsense. The moon is in our atmosphere. It's in the container we reside in, folks. We are so tricked. They're the fools. And it's time to change hands, to say, no, give us back our loot, you scumbags. Imagine what we could do helping the world. This nonsense, a handful of people use this for their own gain, for their little family members, for their constituents. Billions of dollars going out the window for nothing, folks. Helium balloons going up into our atmosphere, going into figure 8, following the moon, because that's what the moon and the sun do. A figure eight over and over. That's why Trump's favorite number is 88. Ain't that funny? See, folks, we need to wake up. You know what time it is? Time to wake up. Don't be at a woke group, huh? Wake up. That woke group ain't gonna get us nowhere. So we need the sun. That's right. Those people who want to block the sun, they need to be blocked. We need to weld them in cells. That's what we need to do as a people. Anyway, so that's the noise we were making this morning. Today, what is today? April Fool's. Today is what, Tuesday? It's Wednesday. Wednesday. So now I have been smoking, let's see, 9, 10 days. 10 days without cigarettes, and I'm feeling good. I'm not going back to them cigarettes. 'Cause I've been tricked long enough with them cigarettes. So I'm feeling really good about it. I had the chemtrail flu for about 2 months. Finally seen a doctor. They called it chronic bronchitis, acute chronic bronchitis uh, my with bronchial plugs. They called them so congested that they turned hard, and when I coughed, it felt like somebody was stabbing me. Hey, what we got going on here? Oh, I heard my own voice that because I got headphones on. I thought, what the hell is going on? That was me. So water the tree. What's going on? We see you there. Um, Good morning to you. Yeah, we talking about trees. We're showing some stuff about trees. Oh, Charlie Rose, I hope everything's going good for you. Um, yep, I'm healing. There's Dana. Hey, Dana, good morning to you, lady. Hey, what's going on here? I know I wanted Charlie Rose. Well, what's going on, Charlie Rose? See, I don't know what happened there. So anyway, so that's what we were doing today. Let's see, we got something going here. Let's see here. Yeah, and Bruce was saying my audio's not so good, and I played it back, and he's right, man. I don't know why. I got a 6.0 dB on my audio, and I got a audio. I thought I had this resolved, but then I had a update, and the next thing you know, after I had my update, my audio's screwed up again. I don't know what's going on there. So, but I think I need to get me a nice mic because I'm not using the mic. Um, I'm just using the mic that's internally on this computer, and it just ain't flying right like that way. So, no, I don't know what's going on there. Let's see what's going on here. Um, let's get a video capture here. Let me show you my ugly mug this morning and say good morning to y'all. Here we are, folks. What up? Drinking some mud, and I'm gonna bump this up just to see if I can hear myself for a minute. Yeah, it is kind of low, so, and I got mine booted all the way up, and look. Oh, you can't see that. Hey, I'm pointing. I'm pointing my camera at the thing. But no way I could do that. Watch this. Man, we're gonna trick the computer. We're gonna tell the computer to go over to this phone. Let's see if we can get this done here. Come on, phone. Let's get it booted over here to the phone. There we go. But I won't be able to see the. Come on, you can do it. Don't be stubborn. Oh, there we go. There we go. See, now look. Oh, we got. Give me a second here. I gotta straighten something out here. I don't know why that's doing that. So there, that's better. We just had to get it, and I gotta drop the screen over so it shows up a little bit better. There, we go sideways. There. See, now look. See? To those who know OBS, I need some help here, folks. So, you see, here is my audio input. I got it at 6.0 dB. Look, I can't even go no higher. And then I say, okay, if I right click on that and get the properties, it says microphone array Intel Smart Sound technology for digital microphones, or I can go default. Okay, I'm going to put it on default for a second and tell me if that's better or worse. Is it better or worse? See, I think it should be on. Oh, I cut it right out. Properties. See, I think it should be on microphone array Intel Smart technology for digital microphones. And I say, okay. Now, is it better? Huh? Is it better or worse, folks? I don't know. I gotta check it out. So, here we are. We got the stupid boob tube on over there. There's my dog down there. What are you doing, Shadow? Huh? She's sleeping. Yeah, my little girl busted her teeth the other day, man. She jumped off the porch going after a damn. I was watching Jen and Curtis at night, and she jumped off the porch running after something there, and she fell right on her face. I thought she broke her neck, but I didn't discover till the next day when she wasn't eating that she knocked out her two front teeth and a bottom one. Oh, looky there, Tiger Woods, man. Oh man, he looking rough. Oh, Tiger Woods looking rough, man. Tiger, man, you need to hire me. I'll be your fucking Uber driver, man. Pay me, I don't know, what's a good wage? Pay me 150 grand a year. I take you around anywhere you want to go. You know, I'm cheap. 150 grand a year is a lot cheap, and I keep you out of prison, brother. So, yeah, he's gonna kill himself. So, we're gonna open up. Let me see if I can't open up. So we had the April Fool's Blues. I'm gonna close this for a minute. I'm gonna try to get so I can see the chat. I'm gonna view my channel and see if I can't see the chat. Okay, there we are. Let's see. Uh, there we are.
Fool's Blues. I'm gonna
Okay, we're
close
gonna have
this
to
for a
dump
minute.
that before we get
I'm gonna
feedback.
try to get.
Okay, there we got that open. Now I can see the chat here as soon as it pumps up. All right, now I can see the chat. You see, now you can see it too. So, what's up there? Who we got here? We got Charlie Rose, Dana, Water the Tree, Ross. Um, oh, yep, I had an echo there. Yep. Not of this world. That's a skateboard mama from down under, Australia. Good to see you, pretty lady. Yep, Sylvie. Yeah, Sylvie's a good soul. That's what I needed growing up as a skateboard mama. So, so let's see what else is going on. Let's see if we can see. See, I'm holding a stupid ass thing now. Here, there we are. Thank you, lady. I'm getting better and I don't smoke cigarettes no more and I ain't going back, man. It's not that hard. Uh, you know what made it easy? Not being able to breathe. So not being able to breathe made it real easy to quit them damn cigarettes. So I need to work on something about that. Could be it. Look, I'm gonna give my own self a thumbs up because I ain't getting no thumbs up. I only see the same people. I don't get nobody. They put me in the back corner. Um, I thought it'd make some noise today about trees, and I'm glad it. See, I was talking about trees, and Ross it made his ears ring, and Ross showed up. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, we used to do that too, Shawnee B. We used to climb them tall pine trees and go from one tree to the next and down and let it shoot us through the air. Yeah, so I did that same kind of stuff, man. Yep, I grew up outside, man. We never were inside when I was going to school and growing up, you know. Plus, we only had like four channels of TV, you know. We had what was called a clicker, and you would click it, click, click, and it would actually click. So, anyway, so we did the April Fool's Blues. I produced that 5 years ago talking about the chemtrail coronavirus fools. And that's when they took my channel. They took my Robert News channel away from me. I had no strikes. Um, and they just had 15,000 subscribers and they took my channel away from me. Yep, that's what they did. And they stole my intellectual property. No, yeah, that's why when I hang out with my grandson, we always, he wants to be on the phone and play games and I say, "No, we ain't gonna play no games. We ain't gonna be on the phone. We're gonna go outside and do stuff." So that's what we're doing. So I guess I can dump back to to this other phone. Yeah, all the old trees are gone, right? They cut them down, huh? There are some around, but most of the old trees, just like Shawnee B, he was talking about so many trees absorbing the past. Well, where my grandson lives, there's a video of me and him going there, and the tree absorbed was going around the whole damn infrastructure a block of a tree, or not a tree, or the foundation of a building. You know what I mean? And the tree looked about, I don't know, probably around 280 to 300 years old. That's about it. So, yeah, I'm telling you, I hear you. We had ping pong, right? Atari with two crappy games. I hear you, Shawnee B. I had Atari too, man. And I hear you, man. It takes me back. In our basement growing up, I'm gonna switch it back to the other thing here. Let me get my OBS going so then I can see the chat in there. So I'll be blank for a minute. Let me go back to OBS. So I'm gonna tell that video to go back to my video here. There we are. So I don't know why it dumps it there. So we're right there. So here we go. We got it back there. Yeah, trees living off the crime scene. Yep, yes indeed. And as I watch that video again with y'all, I watch that video and I say, now I see more that those people who want to block the sun from us are indeed against life. And, it makes me think of that agenda with that, those, what they call that? Dang, I got brain lock all of a sudden. the Georgia Guidestones. That's what I wanted to talk about. When I think it was 2020, somebody went and started destroying the Georgia Guidestones. It's been up for so long, talking about so many people have to be killed and all this other nonsense, and like 23 different languages. Well, who was behind that? Nobody wanted to take claim to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's one way. The only way I can think, through our food or through the air, to get us all sick at once. My neighbors are sick. People all around me are sick. I got relatives in Germany that are sick with the same type of problem. You know, um, some people, I don't know, but that's how they're delivering it somewhere. It'll be a beautiful day, and I can predict the weather just by how many, because I live by two international airports. I can predict the weather just by what they're doing, of how many white line, and like they'll lay one on the south side, one on the north side, and then start cross hatching them. And in less than 2 hours, it will be nasty, and you won't see the sun. That's how good they've gotten at doing that crap. And then they have planes that fly higher with other stuff that they're doing. It's just sickening, man. And today, April Fools, they're sending Artemis, right? Artemis up to do this figure eight, and telling you going to space, and it's for our benefit of the future. You know what NASA's given us so far? Tang. And you shouldn't even consume that crap. But it is. I discovered through a plumber that Tang works great for cleaning your dishwasher. Swear. If it starts getting a little, if you have high red brick fiber in your water, rust, and limestone and different chunks of melted debris in your water. Fill that cup holder full of some Tang and run a cycle, and they'll come out nice and clean. You know what, Shawnee B? I haven't been sick for years and years and years. And the last time I got sick, I was forced to get a vaccine, okay? Or go to the hall. That was the deal. And I was so sick that I almost died. Matter of fact, I called home and told my girl, hey, I think I'm going to die. So, all right, Dams. Good to see you, brother. So, I haven't been sick in a long time, and I'm not going to get sick no more, man. So, maybe cigarettes had something to do with that sickness, too. Because a couple of my friends who've had bronchitis in the past, they said that when they quit smoking, they never got bronchitis ever again, or walking pneumonia. So those poisons that are pushed in their bodies could be from something like that. So, all right, Shawnee B, I'm glad you stopped by, brother. I know it's time for you to go make some pallets. God bless you, sir. Have a beautiful day. Give the woman a big hug. Um, Play a prank on someone for April's Fools. How you got to do it. You know what I used to do? But we changed our sink. You know those sprayers on the sink? Every April Fools, for years, I'd go there on April Fools, and I'd put a rubber band, like there's my hair tie around my finger right here. I'd put it on there, and my girl would get up and hit the sink and would spray her ass. But we don't have that sprayer no more because we have a different sink, and I have, a water spigot there that has a filter on it for our water to drink. Because they polluted our water so bad, I have to buy a whole house filter, run it through a softener, buy softener salt, and then I have another special filter just for water that costs $55, and I can only it cleans up about 500 gallons of water before I have to change the filter. So it's very expensive today to have good water, and that's sad. And they've did this to us. So anyway, you have a great day there. Yep, I hear you, Frankie. Our water is putrid here. We have heavy lime here in the water here in the area that I live in. Um, and you know, a lot of rust from all kind and from all the shit that different companies have dumped into the soil. My neighbor across the street, he used to just dump his oil right in the middle of the street. I went over to him one day. I said, "Hey, dumbass, what are you doing that for? That's going to enter our water table because we pull our water from the ground here." Well, I never thought about that. I go, "Man, how dumb are you, man?" So yeah, and they used to oil our streets with some solution, and that's all in our water table too. And how do I know? Because when I take my filter off, I could run my finger on the filter, and I have to scrub my just for one little rub. If I go like this on the filter, I have to scrub my finger for about 10 minutes to get all that crap off. Swear, it is disgusting. Yeah, I got to work on my audio here. We need a Well, they got some units there at Home Depot you can put underneath your sink or or so forth, or you can integrate it right into your plumbing system. I don't know if you're a homeowner or you're renting or what, but that's the way you want to go. Right, I hear you, Dana. It makes it right forever. It just helps clog it in that bronchial, what they call a bronchial or a bronchial clog or plug, because that's what I had. Like when I coughed, like here in my chest, when I coughed, prior to me, and I was smoking some real, good marijuana too, between the cigarettes and that, I could never get better. My girl started getting better, and I just kept getting worse. But I'm feeling a lot better, and I feel so much better. Um, and I have a lot of more time on my hand because I'm not chasing them damn cigarettes, man. And I haven't even smoked no marijuana. I'm gonna wait till I get 100% recovered and everything to blow a doobie or anything like that. Oh, you're getting a counter one? All right, that's a good deal. Yeah, you need to have good water. We all need good water. Well, there's my dog. She's moving around. What's up, baby girl? Huh? What you doing? So, April Fools to all of you. Shawnee B went to work. I gotta go. What time is it now? It's only 7:04. I've been up since probably 3:30 this morning. I don't sleep much. I try, but I just don't can never sleep. So, and I know prior and since I quit smoking, I've had no I haven't awakened with any sleep apnea except one time, and it was the day after I cycled off the antibiotics, and then I had to go see a dentist. And then the dentist wanted to say, "Well, I'm going to put you on some antibiotics." I said, "No, you're not. I just told you I cycled off of antibiotics. I don't need no antibiotics right now." And I told her, I says, "What the dentist, who's supposed to be a doctor, I said, what you caused is whoever did the last cleaning didn't do it right, and they just scraped and they left a lot of tartar on the lower part. Because look, my teeth are, I'm 61 years old. My teeth, these are all my teeth. So I don't have fake teeth. I took good care of my teeth growing up and always getting them cleaned. Yeah, you know what? You're so right, Dana. You know what the doctor said to me? He said if I would have waited another 2 weeks prior to coming in to him, he says I would have probably died. I probably would have drowned on my own mucus. So yeah, it was very, very painful. And that's sad to be afraid of doctors, but you know, I had two of my brothers pass in 2025. One was in the care of doctors and they killed him by putting the wrong stents in him, sending him home. He almost died. They brought him back to hospital, put the right size stents in his heart, sent him back out in the street, and he died in my mom and dad's driveway at the age of 56. Big old dude. My brother's a big old dude, 6'4", handsome, 56 years old. Is sad. I almost want to cry saying that. Yep, same here, Shawnee B. I don't never use alarm. At certain times I set the alarm, but I always beat the alarm up. I'm up before the alarm. Plus I hate that noise, it just drives you crazy in the morning. Oh man, shut up. Yeah, you can program yourself. You can tell yourself, I want up at 3 a.m. and you'll be up at 2:59. I know, Shawnee. I'm the same way, sir. Yeah, I had walking pneumonia one time there, Dana, and the doctor never said it had anything to do with bronchitis or nothing like that. I just all of a sudden, I had a cough for the longest, and it was just this dry cough. And my stepfather told me, "You better get to the doctor." So I finally did get to the doctor, and they diagnosed me with walking pneumonia. So I don't know how it, got that, but I did. But I did a lot of, you know, I was working in the paint industry, so I was installing robots. I produced the big primer cups, and then I would do all the plumbing from the primer cup, the 1 inch line, all the way down half-inch line, all the way down to the 3/8 line to the robot for the robots to spray the car, put the changers in there. We had to calibrate the pressure systems from the primer cup to the robot and so forth. So that, and I was a welder fabricator. Well, most of the time I wore a respirator, but there were some times when I was producing certain things I wouldn't wear my respirator. Yeah, I tell you what, Shawnee, I don't blame you. I The last two doctors, my one doctor, look it up, Google it. His name was Zala, Zalla, out of Waterford, Michigan. He was spinning me. His team was spinning me for a year. I kept trying to set an appointment. They say, "Oh, we can give you referrals." I'm like, "No, I want to see my doctor." But finally, I contacted my carrier, insurance carrier, and they gave me another doctor. And the first day I seen my new doctor, he said, "Oh, your old doctor, he was beat to death." I go, "What?" I got home. He wasn't beat to death. My old doctor is out on $100,000 bond going down to a Jewish synagogue with a pellet gun. I don't know what the story is still to this day. What's up, Stevie B? Good to see you. Good morning. So yeah, so that was kind of alarming. So then I wrote my insurance carrier and told them about what the doctor said, and then the hospital, Trinity Hospital, let him go. So he's no longer working for um, Trinity Hospital as well. So I'm in the middle of right now. I don't have a doctor, and I just seen a ER doctor. The first thing he said to me is, Do you vape?" I said no. And he says, "Well, don't." He says, "I used to vape." The doctor told me that he used to vape, and he says the ER room is inundated all the time from young people having chronic problems wrong with their lungs. Something called popcorn lung is a major thing. But he says if the youth that are coming up right now don't get a handle on this vaping, most of them will be dead or have some type or be on lung machines or sucking oxygen in their 30s and 40s. You know, a lot of these kids are vaping at 17. He said 20s, late 20s, 30s, and 40s, they'll have problems like people who smoked their whole life in their 70s and 80s. So, but see, I had a relative that smoked this one cigarette after every meal. After every meal, they'd smoke a cigarette. They lived to be 97 and never had any lung problems. But it was from a tobacco they grew themselves. See, just with water and soil, and they harvested it and dried it out and rolled it and smoked it themselves. It was just tobacco, not all these chemicals they put in the cigarettes today and all that crap. Oh, you at work already, Shawnee B? Every time I see a pallet, hey folks, if for anybody listening here out there, Shawnee B builds pallets. So let me tell you, after he told me that, now, because I sometimes when I see pallets, I stop and get them. I load them in my car and I make stuff out of pallets. So, matter of fact, it's spring and I got to get a bunch of pallets together right now. So, because I want to build something. I want to build like I have some like this roofing that's clear. I want to build something for three plants that I'm going to put under. There's three, four plants I'm going to put up because I don't want the the weather to beat my plants because it makes a difference. So I got a couple plants that I'm going to do. Matter of fact, I got to go get that started to get ready because I'm behind right now. I should have them ready 3, 4 feet tall before I stick them in the ground this year, but I don't even have nothing started yet. So, so that's one thing I do like. I love growing marijuana, and it's very satisfying when you grow a nice batch of stuff. I mean, last year I still have some of it left right now from last year. I probably produced from one plant almost 8 pounds of marijuana from one plant outdoors, and it was called Crazy Train. But I found out some problems on the south side where my neighbors are at. They would flip their light on a lot in the evening, and that side of the plant it began to revert back to veg state because it was being tricked with the light cycle. So the back half of one section of it had this like fluffy because it was trying to revert back to um, veg state, and the rest of it was all big nugs. Not real big, but because this crazy train, I mean, the nugs were probably like yay big and about yay fat. But the back half was kind of not so good, but it still made good hash. So I still took that, let it dry, and made a nice batch of bubble hash with all that back stuff. And I threw some of the nicer nugs in there too. So 30 years building pallets, man. You're a pallet professional, sir. Well, you're a good employee, sir. 30 years building pallets, man. I hope they give you a big something good when it's time for you to retire, brother. Because my woman worked for one company her whole life. 32 years she worked for one company. Her son does windows, and he's been doing windows since he's 17 years old. He's he's up there in age now, but he's did windows his whole life, one job. So my woman's a hard worker, man. She go to work with a broke leg. Well, Dana, you must have some really healthy lungs. You know what the doctor said to me? He said, "Your lungs are amazing." He said, "I had really long lungs and very healthy considering I smoked for most of my life." But he attributed my long lungs, he said, to, I told him I used to swim a lot when I was younger and I used to hold my breath. Because, let's see, 2000, let's see, what year did my son graduate? Well, when he graduated high school, we went down to a lake called Pontiac Lake and we were all in the water. And we all went underwater to see who could hold their breath the longest. I won. I held my breath for 2 minutes underwater, and they couldn't even for a minute and a half. And they were young, 18 years old. And they said to me, "How can you hold your breath so long?" And I told them, "Smokers need less oxygen." Yeah, so to all you pallet builders out there, God bless you, man. Yeah, I hear you, Dana. Thank you. Because one time I was at a job, a little side job I had. I was working for this lady who's no longer here. She died of lung cancer, poor thing. But anyway, one day we were working together and she had rental property and I was helping fix stuff up and move stuff around and something fell on my leg and I gashed my leg open. I was bleeding. I continued to work and finally the lady stopped and she says, "Aren't you going to do something about your leg?" I looked down at it. I said, "Yeah, when I get home." She goes, "No, let's put a bandage on it now." So we stopped and cleaned it up. She goes, "You want to go home?" I go, "Are you kidding me, ma'am?" I said, "My woman went to work with a broke leg. I ain't going to let a little bleeding out of my leg stop me from working." And she says, "Hey, I'm going to go call my husband out of the house. Will you tell him that story?" He come out of the house. He had a sling on his arm. And she said, "See him?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Every spring he always has something wrong with his arm." I laughed so hard. Well, rest in peace. I forget her name, but she was a hard working gal too. So yeah. Yep, she had lung cancer and I have a gal behind me. She has something that's I forget what it's called. It's like Dana will probably know. The neighbor behind me, she still works. She's 67 years old. She's a manager at McDonald's. Um, I, she she said that what's occurring is um, her veins are calcifying. Her body is sending calcium to her veins, and she had to have some type of surgery in her face because it was trying to go to her brain to calcify her brain. And that's pretty sad. But she still smokes. She's 67. She smokes marijuana and cigarettes and drinks wine. She drinks wine every day, and that ain't good. So, swear, I have two friends right now that are, and Linda's friend who just moved from the UP. She has lung cancer. Um, and yep, my girl had melanoma, bladder cancer. I'm just sad. I've buried several of my friends who've had cancer. So many of my friends' animals had cancer, and they had to put dogs down early because of cancer. Cancer of the hip, cancer of the bones, cancer of the throat, tumors on them, and just sad, man. That's what it's called. I remember her saying that, Dana. Thank you. Yep, that's what it's called, and it's sad. And she's a nice gal, you know. So I hate to see that happen. And I I talked to her yesterday. I was raking my yard a little bit yesterday, getting ready for spring, because spring's trying to come and go, come and go. So it seems like it's here, and we're gonna have spring, or is that an April Fool's joke? So what's going on here? Usually my buddy, something just dinged on my phone and I know who that is. That is my pal. He is retired and he don't smoke cigarettes. He don't smoke nothing. He's real healthy, dude. He's like 70 now, 69 or 70, same age as Jenny, and she's got cancer of the lungs and she ain't quitting smoking. But she told me if I quit smoking, that she would. And I've been quit for 10 days, so when she comes over here to do her laundry. So when she comes over here, I'm going to ride her about you better be quitting. So another buddy of mine just texted me his brother just went through radiation for lung cancer, and now he's on something called Keytruda. And I heard that advertised in the new on the television. It's pretty nasty stuff, man. And he's smoking, and that's not good. So yeah, that was my buddy texting me this morning, and he is a farmer. He retired, and now he's farming out up where my parents live. And he says he's never worked harder in his life, but he loves it. He's got llama, geese, goats, even got a goat that falls down. I forgot what you call it. One of these goats that just you touch it, it falls down like it's dead or something. You got mini cows, you got mini pigs, uh, chickens, and he says he loves it. So I'm gonna go visit him here pretty soon because my parents are coming back from Florida in May. They were gonna come back in April, but they're gonna stay till May. So they don't know what they're doing. I know I wouldn't even leave. They got $1 million home in here in Michigan, and they want to go live in this trailer in Florida. I would never do that, but they just don't like the cold anymore. So but they have the means where they wouldn't even have to leave their house in the winter if they wanted to stay here in Michigan during the winter. So, but that's their call. So that's their choice what they want to do with their life. They're both in their 80s, so we said hi to my buddy out in Gladwin, Michigan. He lives in Beaverton, Michigan. That's where we just had the Edenville Dam flood and all that, and all so many people I know lost everything. People worked hard their whole lives, and insurance ain't covering it. It was a deliberate act by people taking land over. It's sad, folks. It is so sad. Then we got this Gretchen Whitmer, our governor here. We have so many issues here in our state, and she wants to talk about the transgender community and blah blah this and blah blah that. Man, get a life, you dumbass broad. I feel, I don't know, man. We got some real weird ass leaders. So, so we said hi to our buddy. We said hi to you all. It's 7:30. We had Shawnee B, Dana, Frankie, Stevie B, uh, Charlie Rose, Dams. Um, who else came by? Yeah, that's what I say. We should be, everyone's picking in all the stupid stuff and this and well, you look up in the sky and they're spraying us and people are dying left and right from augmented weather, but nobody's saying nothing about that. You know, it kills me. Yep, I hear you, Frankie. But they had this Georgia Guidestones agenda that, oh, we only have to have, I forget what it said, so many 550 million people and the rest have to die and all this nonsense. Just like, that 6-7. I was doing this death scroll and I came across a live stream where there was some Jewish people talking about what 6-7 meant. When kids, because my grandson one day I picked him up from school and he says, "Oh, your car says 6'7". I go, what are you talking about? And he told me 6'7's thing. And I go, do you know what 6'7" means? And he looked at me. He said, no. And I go, being funny, I said 6 and 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now you know, right? And he laughed, he got it. But anyway, I was watching the stream and Jew-ish, and I met a Jew one time. He said, Jew-ish, ish means like. I'm not Jewish, I am a Jew. That's what the guy said. And anyway, these Jewish people were talking about 6'7" means 6 out of 7 people will die. So the weirdest things in the news portrays 6'7" all the time and stupid things that occurred. You know, they, and I seen it. I don't know if you pay attention. My girl watches the news. I got the TV right now because I was gonna. Oh, they showing me some explosions right now. Let's see. I'll dump. I grab the other phone for a minute. Yep. So does that ice the audio, or we still got audio here? I don't know. How is audio? Oh, we gotta do this. We got the wide angle there, so we gotta go like that. Oh, there's that baloney about. Hey, do we have audio still? I don't know what's going on. Oh, I know why I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing my own voice again because I just told the phone, or I told my computer to switch over to this phone right here. And that's why I'm not hearing myself because it's not displaying the audio. But you guys are still hearing the audio there. See that broad there? That's Muhammad Ali's daughter. Huh? She works for CBS News in Detroit. Thinks she lives in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. So I don't live too far from where Bob Seger lives. He's got a 35,000 square foot home in Commerce Township on the same lake I almost drowned at. I almost drowned at the lake that he lives on. The first time I ever went swimming, I, 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 I lied to my dad and said I could swim. I was putting my feet on the ground and pretending I was swimming. He said I could go out to the big dock. Well, on the way out there, I still didn't know how to swim and I just sunk. so anyway. So anyway, I was trying to get that image up there. They were showing Artemis getting ready to blast off to go to the moon to do their figure eight, huh? Because they ain't getting to no space. They're inside our realm. You can't leave the container. You can't get out. But they're going to trick you over and over to say they can get out. Yeah, they're always advertising that lottery crap right there. So anyway, we're going to flip back to the other phone. Come on, computer, switch back to. There we go. We're back. Okay, we're back, Jack. Okay, we got to catch up. So that's it. What else is going on here? Oh yeah, he traded a cow for his first car. Nice, man. Yeah, today, well, a cow could probably pay for a damn car. How much they get for meat, you know? Yep, I've seen them Georgia Guidestones before they destroyed them there, Dana. So you have security on there and all that. And finally, it's linked. They finally linked it to somebody saying, "Oh yeah, and he was a Freemason. He said he paid for this and that, and blah blah blah." And they're trying to dismiss the government had anything to do with it and all that. But Nobody claimed it for years, and they spent millions of dollars to put it there, and a bunch of money to have surveillance on it to watch it. So, okay, I got to check something with the camera here. Yeah, that's better. I don't know how it dumps it there, but it did. I could do other things like blah blah blah. I can let's see, I can transform it to stretch to the screen like so. So it is what? 7:31. Oh, why is it? Computer, don't do that. There we go. That's better. Computer was trying to do something. So what's going on? Who we got here? I know there's like a setting here on my thing where I can show this on there. But let's see what's going on here. Yeah, maybe I close those things and that would be won't tax. It won't tax the system so much if I close these other things up. Because I had, that's not bad. I only had 91 drop frames this whole time, and I've been streaming an hour and 26 minutes. But see that? That taxes it right there. So I jumped that too. So that, we don't need that rolling. That taxes it. That taxes it too, but that ain't that bad. You know what time it is? It is 4:20 somewhere. Let's see, 7, 6, 5, 4. Yeah, out in California it's 4:20. So hey, what the hell? All right, folks, we made enough noise this morning. We're gonna head out. I looked to see if Richie was online this morning, but he wasn't doing nothing. So I said, "Oh, what the hell? Let's make some noise this morning." So we're gonna end the show. Thanks for stopping by. You made my day. April Fools to you all. Play a prank on somebody. I'm gonna try to find something to do to my old lady. Keep in tradition with the April Fools. So I started the stream talking about April Fools. Um, Screw them
Hello,
chemtrail
world. Hello.
coronavirus fools,
Hello,
folks.
YouTubers.
That's what I
Hello,
say.
you Americans. We're gonna make some noise here. You ready?
Thank you, Charlie Rose, Dana, everybody. You guys have a beautiful day, man. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Unless he's messing with you, then throw a brick at him. No, don't do that. Uh, but anyway, we out of here, folks. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Just did a little thing. Ross, everybody who stopped by, Charlie Rose, Dana. Thanks. Dana's always got good information. She's a very smart lady. Get that water together right there, Charlie Rose, 'cause it's important that your water right, man. They have so many poisons in the water today. I went down and tested our water and the amount of craps in it. And you know what? Who we all have to thank? Do a research yourself. This DuPont family. We don't even know the ramification of how they poisoned us with this PFASs and all this Teflon and different contaminants in water, and they polluted this world, and they're the ones that were posted up in all these redesignated red brick buildings that are now UNESCO heritage sites that you can visit. So shame on you, you DuPont family. Make it right. Spend some of your billions of dollars to rat on yourself and help the world out. There you go. That's what I gotta say. So So there's people out revealing you anyways, and you have been revealed. You shit on us long enough. So peace, everybody. Love your neighbor like you love yourself, and rat out them rats. So anyway, don't get my heart going, man. I get all angry and stuff. So anyway, peace. We out of here. You have a great day, Shawnee. Hope the day goes quick for you. It's gonna start storming and raining here. Um, I gotta go do something today. But I want to go grab me some pallets because I know where a bunch of pallets are right now. I'm going to go grab me some pallets because I got some stuff I want to do too with pallets. So, yep, you're right, Dana. Dana is a warehouse of information. So it's always great when Dana's around. So thanks for all the information, Dana. And I had started a compilation of videos I put together that I never produced yet about the DuPont and other families and some of these buildings that they um, moved into and claimed to have built that they didn't. So now that UNESCO is showing them as these landmarks and all this and all these timelines of lies, they have to rewrite those timelines of lies because none of them add up. Just the amount of bricks themselves, but that's another story in itself. Yep, 13 families. Yeah, Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney show us that with their Ferris wheel. They have 12 seats. The 13th seat is empty with nobody in it, and the Ferris wheel's going around. So until next time, we out here, folks. Thanks for stopping by. My dog wants out. My woman's gonna be up at 8 o'clock, so I gotta figure out some kind of prank this morning. So peace, man. We out of here.